Everyone keeps saying 2026 will save Formula One, cleaner engines, new brands, a shiny new future. But what if I told you the very thing meant to improve F1 could quietly ruin how it feels to watch? Imagine a race car that feels unstoppable 1 second and weak the next. Imagine pressing the boost button and nothing happens. If you love racing, real racing, this problem should worry you. And trust me, you'll never believe what clues are still coming. If you've been watching Formula One for decades, you've seen this pattern before. Big promises, big words, big excitement, and then reality. In 2026, Formula One is changing its power units completely. On paper, they sound incredible. Over 1,000 horsepower when everything works together. The engine and the battery combining into something James Allison famously called a thing of fearsome beauty. That phrase alone sounds like poetry. It sounds like power. It sounds like speed. It sounds like the Formula One many of us grew up loving. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That power doesn't last, not for a whole lap, not even close. Because of the compromises inside the 2026 rules, these cars are going to be energy-starved. A lot. The battery will drain multiple times every lap, and when it drains, the extra electric power doesn't fade slowly. It disappears, instantly. If you've ever watched a race and thought, why didn't he go for it? Or why does everyone look so careful now? And you want honest explanations instead of shiny slogans, hit subscribe now. This channel exists to talk about what Formula One feels like, not just what it promises to be. 1 second, the car has over 1,000 horsepower. The next second, it drops to around 550 horsepower. That's not a small drop. That's like driving a sports car that suddenly turns into a family sedan halfway down the straight. Now imagine being the driver. You're flat out. You're attacking. You see a rival ahead. You press the overtake button, and nothing happens. No extra push, no boost, no magic. That button becomes a decoration. This is why people inside Formula One are already nervous. Drivers could spend races desperately trying not to become sitting ducks. And when engineers start using words like desperately, it's never a good sign. That fear led Cadillac technical consultant Pat Simons to use one of the most brutal descriptions imaginable. He called the 2026 power unit a camel, not the animal, the saying. A camel is what you get when a committee tries to design a horse. That one sentence explains everything. Formula One tried to please everyone: engine manufacturers, environmental goals, politics, marketing, technology. And in doing so, they created something awkward. Simons didn't stop there. He said the power unit is sparse on energy. Yes, there are ways around it, but they're not good ways. Not clean, not fun, and not racing. That last word matters, because Formula One is not a science fair. It's not a tech demo. It's not a university project. It's racing. Now, to be fair, this won't be a disaster everywhere. Some tracks will actually hide the problem. Monaco, for example, could look incredible. Short straights, heavy braking, lots of energy recovery. The cars might look alive there. But Formula One doesn't race only in Monaco. And fans don't watch a season for one track. There are circuits with long, flat-out sections, high-speed corners, minimal braking, tracks where battery power drains in seconds and barely comes back. At those tracks, the energy problem could become painful. Painful for drivers, painful for teams, and painful for fans sitting on their couches wondering why cars suddenly slow down. Instead of asking, who's the fastest, we may start asking, who's best at saving energy? That's a dangerous shift. Because racing should feel like an attack, not an economy run. Some insiders already believe this is unavoidable. They expect major headaches at tracks like Melbourne and Jeddah. Headaches so serious that rule changes could be needed almost immediately. And here's where things get political. The FIA knows this risk exists. That's why they suggested a dramatic solution last year. Reduce maximum battery power during races, from 350 kilowatts down to 200 kilowatts. That would lower peak power to around 800 horsepower, but it would let drivers use that power longer and more consistently. In simple terms, less peak madness, but more usable racing. Sounds reasonable, right? The teams hated it. The proposal was shut down fast. Why? Because some manufacturers believed they had already solved the problem, and they weren't interested in helping rivals catch up. That's when Toto Wolff called the idea a joke. He later softened his words, but the message was clear. If you're winning, why change anything? And this reveals the real danger of 2026. If everyone suffers equally, fixes are easy. That's what happened with porpoising in 2022. But if only some teams struggle, why would the winners vote to help them? This is the political time bomb Formula One is walking toward. Because fixing F1 problems isn't just about engineering, it's about power, votes, influence, and who is smiling on Sunday. The FIA knows it can't panic. It can't rewrite the rules overnight. As Nicolas Tombazis explained, they need to see how the cars behave in winter testing. Then maybe push parameters, then maybe simplify things. He said they believe it's probably okay. Probably. That word should make every fan nervous, because Formula One history is full of probably okay moments that weren't okay at all. Tombazis also said they have ideas in their pocket. That phrase matters, because one of those ideas is almost certainly the rejected 200 kilowatt battery limit. But the last time it was proposed, it barely survived the meeting room. And politics makes everything harder. Tombazis admitted it openly. Teams care about the health of the sport, but they also care about winning. Engineers care about racing, but they also care about interesting problems. Fans care about one thing: good racing. And somehow, the FIA must balance all of this. Here's the twist. The FIA may now have more power than ever. Hidden inside the 2026 rulebook is a new section, Section A. It states that one of the main objectives is to promote competitive balance and sustainability. That wording caused serious debate because it sounds like a move away from pure merit. It suggests the FIA could step in if racing itself is at risk. So if 2026 starts badly and teams refuse to cooperate, does the FIA have the authority to act anyway? No one knows yet. But that possibility alone has made teams nervous. Meanwhile, details about the cars keep leaking. Rake is coming back, not extreme, but enough to help ground effect. Active wings will be the real weapon. The rules don't tell teams how many wing elements to use, or exactly where to place them. They only say what those wings must do. That opens the door to creativity and performance gaps. And once again, the same question appears: who gets it right? Because winners never complain. That truth was summed up perfectly by Lance Stroll. He said it's sad to go 400 kilometers per hour on straights and slow in corners. Managing energy isn't exciting. Flat-out pushing is. But then he added something honest. If we're fast and everyone else is behind us, it's a nice car to drive. And there it is. Complaints belong to losers. Silence belongs to winners. So when 2026 arrives, the real story won't just be about horsepower, or batteries, or active wings. It will be about who's shouting, who's smiling, and whether Formula One chooses racing or rewards those who solve the puzzle first. Because once the cards are on the table, it might already be too late to reshuffle them. So now the question comes back to you, the fan. Do you want Formula One to be about pure speed or perfect energy management? Do you think saving battery power makes racing smarter or less exciting? Should the FIA step in if racing suffers, even if it hurts the winners? And if you've watched Formula One for 20, 30, or 40 years, does this future excite you or worry you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear from longtime fans. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the real problem with F1 cars in 2026, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves racing as much as you do. Because Formula One's future isn't just being built in factories, it's being debated by people like us.